Hey Rasmanites, what's up? Welcome to episode number 3 of Wrestling the Way It Oughta Be. Today, on the Razman's Reality. Yes, I'm fully aware that this is not Friday, it's Thursday. And yes, I'm also fully aware that I told you all that this would be a completely interactive episode this week where you pick the topics. But a couple of things happened. Well, the first thing, really, that prevented me from doing both of those things, I found out that I actually may not be here tomorrow. I actually may be hanging out with my aunt at her place. So if I'm doing that, I can't make an episode. So I didn't want to go 2 weeks without doing one of these episodes. And that's the other thing I have to talk to you all about. I'm going to have to put Wrestling the Way It Oughta Be on hold next week, just for 1 week only. And the reason for that is because of the fact that I promised that I would do all of these Christmas reviews of all the stuff that I got on Blu-ray this year, and because I added the snow effect, and also because of where the calendar is, I'm just running out of time to do it. And obviously you don't want to do Christmas reviews after Christmas, because that would be really stupid. So the entire week next week will be devoted to finishing the Christmas reviews for the year. So Wrestling the Way It Oughta Be will return in 2 weeks after today. So that was the other reason I couldn't wait and just wanted to do a normal episode. Before I get started, I want to do a couple of things. First of all, if you guys want to know my opinion on the TLC pay-per-view, like my predictions and things, for those of you that don't know, for every WWE pay-per-view, I do a wrestling roundtable with myself and some other YWCers in the community on the Razman's Reality Radio Show. So go to my Facebook fan page, like my Facebook fan page, and that is when you can get all the air times for the radio show. It's supposed to be at 1 and 6 p.m. Eastern on one affiliate and 7 p.m. Eastern on the other affiliate, all on a Friday. But the one affiliate has been having some server issues lately, so that's why you need to stay tuned to the Facebook fan page to see what's going on. And then right after that, the archive version will be posted. Although if I'm gone on Friday this week, the archive version won't be posted till Saturday. But yeah, go and check that out. And along with the Rotisserie Jamie this time, one of the guests on the panel, well, the only other guest on the panel actually for this week, was the returning WWE TNA for Life. That's right, that's the other thing I wanted to do before I actually get started with what I want to talk about, is give a shout out to my great friend WWE TNA for Life. He is back in the YWC, so if you unsubscribed to him because you thought he wasn't doing videos anymore, or you've just never seen his stuff, go and check him out. Link, of course, you just saw it on the bottom of your screen, an overlay, and of course the clickable version will be down below in the description box. And I apologize if you just heard Toby right there. Alright, so obviously the big news this week was Kane returning on Raw. I love the return, and I love the fact that he went after John Cena, because what better way, as Brennan said on the radio show that you'll hear Friday night, what better way to have him get over than to go after the number one dog, the number one face in the company, in John Cena. The only problem I have with it is the fact that Kane should be going after the world title, and he should be finishing what Mark Henry started, and the whole reason that this whole rebirth and return to the masked character even happened. So we'll probably see him get involved in the World Heavyweight Championship match after it's over, and this feud with Cena will be very short-lived, which is a shame, because it can be a good feud, and hopefully it will be revisited at one point down the road. Which of course leads us into another problem, which is if Kane is going after the world title sooner rather than later, again, what does that do with Daniel Bryan? WWE, just please don't screw up Daniel Bryan. I said it before and I'll say it again. Just make sure that he is the next world champion. You've been kind of up and down with him. You tested the waters with him by giving him that steel cage match. He's been on the cusp of the main event scene, but he's also been used, of all the guys in the company, like I said last week, of all the guys in the company you could have used as a jobber against Del Rio a couple of weeks ago, you used Daniel Bryan. So, again, I'm just really nervous about Daniel Bryan right now, and I hope that Vince and company don't screw him up. He absolutely has to be the next world champion. We'll just have to wait and see where it goes. The next thing I want to talk about is what is going to happen with The Miz. The Miz is kind of a guy that's in limbo right now, because he's in the WWE title picture, but I don't see him being the next guy to be WWE champion, especially if the next WWE champion is whoever returns on January 2nd, especially if that person is who I and a lot of people believe it is, in Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho and CM Punk is a given feud if he returns. So The Miz is kind of a guy in limbo, so move a guy like Dolph Ziggler into the main event scene, have him feud with The Miz. The only problem with that is you'd have to turn The Miz face. Would that work? So hopefully they find something to do for The Miz and don't turn The Miz into any relevant factor, because he is still very, very good at what he does, and I don't want to see him go into obscurity. We're actually going to take advantage of the title being just wrestling now, because for the first time in this series, we're going to talk a little bit of TNA and ROH. We'll start with ROH, because what I have to say about ROH is very quick, simple, and to the point, and that is make the return of Kevin Steen against Steve Corino relevant. You've been building this storyline for over a year. It's the closest thing that ROH has to Cena versus The Rock. My only problem is Steve Corino has been running around trying to atone for his sins against Kevin Steen this whole year. He hasn't been active in the ring for almost a year, unless he's been doing stuff outside of Ring of Honor that we haven't seen much of. So don't let Steve Corino have any ring rust, and yeah, just make it a good, entertaining match. Don't let it drag down the card for Final Battle 2011. And in TNA, to close out the show, I just want to echo what another good friend of mine, Fort Minor Project, said. I think will be down below in the description box as well. And I just want to echo what he said, which is the fact that you cannot have Jeff Hardy win the TNA World title right now. You need to keep doing a slow build with him because of everything that went on with him, because people still have a sour taste in their mouth with what happened at Victory Road. So don't have him win the world title. Rather have this match against Bobby Roode be a test to see how he's going to do in the main event. Make sure that Bobby Roode retains. That is all I have to say for this week. Make sure you guys chime in with comments down below in the description boxes. Do video responses as always if you feel free. This is reality according to the Razman. And Razman style, it's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.